What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and I'm going to be going over to Mike's house, who is the founder of the Facebook page, The Kettle Cookers. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to that Facebook page in the description below. If you happen to be a fan of cooking on Weber kettle grills, that is the Facebook page you need to check out. So, what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be making some honey garlic baby back ribs. And I kind of got this concept from a recent cook that I did, which was some honey garlic chicken wings. I like that profile so much, I thought it would go great on these ribs. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and season our ribs. I've already taken the membrane off of these ribs, and I was kind of debating on whether I should take them off or leave them on because I am going to be cooking these ribs hot and fast, but I went ahead and decided to take them off. As far as our preparation on these ribs, we're pretty much just going to do it in a couple different steps. I'm going to season the ribs. The rub that I am using was a rub that I just kind of threw together. It's about 60% pepper, 30% salt, and about 10% of garlic powder. So we're going to go ahead, or granulated garlic, excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and get our ribs coated on both sides of these ribs. So as far as our seasoning goes, we're going to go semi-light on this. There's no brown sugar or any sugar or anything like that that's going to burn. The reason I'm doing that is since we are cooking at a high temperature on this, I don't want to scorch any of that sugar. And most of our flavor is going to be coming from that sauce that we're going to be making here in a little bit, so I don't necessarily need to have a whole lot of rub on these ribs. Alright, this is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in the refrigerator. And these are going to have a while to kind of sit in all this goodness before we get cooking them. Let's get started on this sauce. So when it comes to making the sauce for these ribs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quadruple the recipe I did for my honey garlic chicken wings. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave a link to those chicken wings in the iCard above. Those are some of the best wings I've made. So our ingredients that we're going to be using are going to kind of differ a little bit from that chicken wing recipe, but here's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using some chicken stock, some minced garlic, some minced ginger, which I did not have in my chicken wing video. I'm going to be using some Dijon mustard, which was not used in that chicken wing video. We're going to be using some soy sauce, some honey. Now in the chicken wing video I used rice vinegar. I'm just using regular vinegar in this. And then as needed, if we need it, I'll be adding just a little bit of this rub. And then we're going to hit it with some sesame seeds. I'm going to actually throw the sesame seeds in this sauce. So when we glaze it over, the sesame seeds are already going to be added. Anyway, those are the ingredients. All we need to do now is get hooking it up. So I'm going to just kind of throw this sauce together. I am going to leave in the description below an approximation of what my ingredients are. So let's just go ahead and start adding our ginger, our garlic. Now we're going to add a little bit more garlic than ginger since this is garlic honey. Kind of give this a little bit of a stir. I'm just going to let this cook for about 1.5 minutes so that fragrance will come out in the garlic and the ginger. Now an ingredient I think I forgot earlier was chicken stock. So we're going to go ahead and add that in now that our garlic and ginger have cooked down for a while. Going to hit it with some soy sauce. Just a tad bit of mustard. Our vinegar. And our honey. Now I'm reserving the barbecue salt, pepper, garlic rub for later, and I'll add that as needed. And I'm also reserving our sesame seeds for later. Now this is what our sauce is looking like after simmering for about 45 minutes. And I'm going to say that this is almost like a light syrup. The one thing I do know is this will thicken up. I did taste it. It looks like we're fine as far as the salt and pepper goes, and I don't want to add that rub that I had because I'd be adding even more garlic into this. So I'm going to go ahead and add some Thai chili flakes to it just to kind of heat it up a little bit. And I'm going to let it cool down, and then I'm going to go ahead and jar it, and it should thicken up right where I want to when we go ahead and add this on our ribs. Alright guys, I am finally here with my boy Mike. Mike has an awesome Facebook page called The Kettle Cookers, and he gets down I'm looking at like 7-8 kettles over this house right now. Anyway, we're going to be cooking these ribs on this Weber Ranch kettle. Mike, why don't you open it up and tell us what we're working with.
Here we go. I've got this set up indirect. I've got the Slow and Sear Ranch kettle on this side. I've got water in it. Water is really important here in Denver because it's so dry. We need the moisture. I've got rockwood lump charcoal and pecan chunks going. About half of it's lit so far. We're running right around 300 degrees. I have some water pans down here just to catch drippings, add a little more humidity. And we've got plenty of room for your 2 racks of ribs. Maybe we'll throw on a brisket a little bit later, maybe some more ribs, maybe a brat or 2. It's good. We'll see what today leads to.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and throw these ribs on, and I want you guys to get a close-up look of this huge grill. We already have the Slow and Sear in here. The water's boiling, so we're going to be getting all the humidity we need. Let's go. So let's go ahead and get my ribs on. Mike already has his ribs on. He's preparing for a competition cook that's coming up here in Colorado down the road. And as you can see, there's some nice color on those ribs right there. My ribs aren't going to have that same color because I'm going to be adding a nice little sauce to it so we can get our sweetness from that. And we're going to be cooking these ribs somewhere on the hotter and faster side. We're going to be cooking them somewhere around that 300 degree mark. Anyway, we'll touch base throughout the cook and see how we're progressing. These 3 racks of ribs have been on the smoker for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and spritz them down with a little bit of water. I think he's going to be wrapping his because these are going to be competition ribs. These are just going to be regular old backyard, old school ribs right here. Go ahead and hit them with that water. We're just trying to keep them a little bit moist right now. Anyway, we're going to let these run probably for, I don't know, about another hour, but before we check them again. But they are starting to get a little bit of that, especially this one, some good bend right there. So I might want to check those in about 30 minutes. So we're about 4 hours and 30 minutes in on these. One of these is looking like it's close to pulling. This other one is still a little stiff, so we're going to let them ride for a little bit. Our daylight is going down just a tad bit, so next time you see me, we may be glazing these up inside the kitchen. So guys, we are about 4 hours and 30 minutes in on this. Let's go ahead and check them for tenderness. And this rack actually looks like it's getting where we want it. And this one is still pretty stiff. Keep in mind we have not wrapped either one of these, but what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and pull this one and sauce it real quick. So I'm just going to throw it in a pan, and I'm not going to be using any brushes or anything like that. We're just going to throw it in here. I'm going to throw this sauce on top of it. And we are just going to kind of brush it with this, and then we're going to flip it over. Does that look good?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
We'll see.
I haven't done baby backs in a long time. These are going to be good.
Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side.
I'm used to doing comp style. The char on these just looks amazing. It looks like crispy bacon.
I'm gonna just let them sit on this smoker for about another 10 minutes, just to let them kind of set a little bit, and we'll be good to go. So forgive me about the lighting, it's a little jacked up out here right now, but we're gonna keep it no hippie style and just do it as is. Anyway, Mike from the Kettle Cookers on Facebook, link is gonna be in the description below. He's gonna be doing the taste test. Why don't you get on in, see what you think about them ribs.
Here we go. It's not competition style, it's backyard style. All I've been cooking is competition style. I'm excited about this. Look at the char on those. Here we go.
Here you go. You should share. You should share.
Oh my God. So good. Holly, come here.
Oh, yes.
Why are you messing up the shot?
It looks delicious to me. Anyway, one thing I will say is we didn't wrap these, we didn't do anything on these. They were, I don't know, what would you, definitely not competition ribs, but I was going more for that flavor than anything.
I'm going to say they were so delicious.
What do you think about that sauce?
I want a whole jar of this sauce. This is ridiculous. Are you giving away your recipe?
It is. You said honey garlic?
Yeah,
It's
link,
It
recipe for that sauce is going to be in the description.
It came out very Asian, very gingery, very garlicky.
Very good.
Really good. I will definitely use this for backyard cooking.
Oh my gosh.
Well, guys, I'm going to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I do appreciate it. Run by and check out Mike at the Kettle Cookers on Facebook. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.